what the heck was Hagerty thinking when they chose the 2001 Plymouth Prowler as a top pick for their bull market list for 2024? Plus, will the bidders on PCAR Market agree with Hagerty, or will this Prowler become prey? Let's find out. Bid Nerds is your daily YouTube car game show, where we predict the online auction results of the most interesting cars on Bring a Trailer, Cars and Bids, Hagerty Marketplace, and more. It's just like the Price is Right game show. Play along and see if you can beat the nerds. I feel like the nerd herd we're about to have a revolt here. We've had some weird cars on Bid Nerds before. This next car is going to be controversial. We chose this car because Hagerty chose this car as one of 2024's, I think it was top 10 picks. They think that this particular car is one of the top 10 cars with the most that are the most likely to appreciate. And I don't know what the big brains over at Hagerty are thinking with this 2001 Plymouth Prowler. This bad boy on PCAR Market of all platforms. It's got a couple of days to go, but look at this thing. Some dealer out of Santa Rosa, California, is selling this 16,000 mile Plymouth Prowler in Prowler Silver Metallic. This car is an automatic because that's all they came with. These cars are all drop tops. I don't know how many of these they made. I think they're pretty common. I think basically this car is a PT Cruiser with open front fenders and no roof. I mean, it's just one of the most hideous things ever made, and kind of weird that Dodge even made this car. Like, what the hell were they thinking when this car came out? Especially given that they had stuff like, the Dodge Viper, which was an absolute real, true muscle car, sports car. And then this thing, I mean, Lane, have you ever been behind the wheel of a Plymouth Prowler? And what do you think of these?
I mean, thankfully I haven't, but I have been behind the wheel of a whatever that stupid thing that it looks like is
a PT Cruiser,
the Viper.
Yeah, PT Cruisers, yeah. And that's my least favorite car I've ever driven probably in my whole life. But yeah, these are pretty horrible. 6-cylinder, right? Right? They didn't come with a V8 or anything.
It's a Mitsubishi. Yeah, it's a Mitsubishi engine in there.
Yeah, a little V6.
So. Those are really nice seats. Yeah, this is like, that's crazy that Hagerty put it on their bull market list, I would imagine. I think that's what you're talking about. Because, I mean, this is like, if you like typed in boomer car, this would come up, right?
Right.
So yeah, it just seems weird. Like, I don't think you and we're buying, any of us here looking for something like this. Yeah, it's a really...
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't, I don't know what year these started, but this doesn't fit in Radwood. It's not, I mean, I guess technically it could still be a young timer because it's early 2000s, right? Does this qualify as that? But I don't see any hipsters driving these. I know, Tyler Hoovey had one, and he liked it, but, he likes dorky, weird stuff, and he was the first to admit that it was trash, even though he kind of liked it. And now I guess he kicked his old wife to the curb and traded her in, like he does with cars, and he got like some strumpet that some TV anchor woman chick now. So he married some new girl, and so they do some morning show or something. So his trade-in wife, they were talking about this particular car on their show, and she was like, I think she was about to divorce him when he suggested at all that he might even kind of like this car. So Hoovey might be looking for a third wife here soon if he pushes it. I don't see where the market is or how possibly this car could go anywhere. Mental, what do you think of this car?
When they built this, and it was hot off of the success of some of their nostalgia styled vehicles, and they had the deal with Mitsubishi, and it was shameless, blatantly marketed to the boomer crowd, and they actually sold a large amount of them for what it was. But this is what you've said is their target demographic. It was very narrow, and now they don't care anymore. They want the least hassle Subaru that they make because they only drive it to the CVS and back. And so the notion that they're going to be able to unload this and that it's a low mile example, they're just, the people who want these don't drive anymore because, my dad was your target demographic for this, and he's not going to buy this car because you can't get in and out of it. And it's marketed towards the boomer generation, and they sold them that much, but nope, those guys are all gone.
There's a nice gentleman in the building that I live in. He parks in the parking garage directly across from my spot, and he owns an orange one of these in a different parking spot. And he knows that I'm into cars. He comes over to me, hey, you're a car guy. I got a Dodge Prowler. You want to drive it? And I'm just like, it's a kindness on his part that he's offering to me, and I just like. I don't want to be a condescending prick, which you all know I am, but even in this particular situation, I'm just like, oh man, that sounds awesome. I gotta go. I'm driving away in my Porsche. But he hit me up the other day. He was realistic about it. He came up to me. He's like, hey, you're a car guy. I never drive my Prowler. If you know anyone that might want to buy it. And so I'm just like, wait, and here we go. He's going to want like $80,000 for it. Cause he's like, I looked on the internet. It doesn't look like anyone's buying them. I think they're only worth like 25 or $30,000. And I'm just like, oh, shucks, this is a boomer that's actually not delusional. So, with that said, this car has almost 2 days to go. It's on PCAR Market, which to me seems like you couldn't have picked the worst platform for this. This car definitely seems to me like it should be on Cars and Bids, but this car has one bid for $250. That's it. That's all this car has gotten to. And it's got less than 2 days to go. That said, I think with Hagerty talking about them, I think it'll get a little bit of a bump, but this is a convertible, and it's the dead of winter, and we're seeing weird stuff going on in the market. I'm going to go ahead and say my bid is, I'd be shocked if this thing breaks 20 grand, but maybe someone swoops in and tries at 19,995. What do you think? Mental.
Oh, you're throwing me off. I was not prepared to come up.
Lane's the guest. He goes last.
Lane's all right. So I'm with you. I just don't see the markets out there. It won't break 20. 17.5. And I think I'm being generous. And I think it's going to fail to sell. I think this is going straight to the Chum Bucket, and then the sharks are going to throw up when they get this.
Yeah. What do you think it'll be in the Chum Bucket? Because I'm with you. I think it'll be in the Chum Bucket for
I think the Chum Bucket. Yeah. It'll be 32. Yeah.
Lane, if you don't know what we're talking about when we say Chum Bucket, the Nerd Herd has dubbed the PCAR Market deal tank. Or whatever. Yeah, the deal tank for PCAR Market. We call it the Chum Bucket. What do you think will happen with this auction? What do you think the result? What will get bid up to?
I'm right with you guys. 19 grand. I'm at 19 grand.
Okay.
I think I'm trying to think about like if I'm Hagerty, what am I thinking? Maybe it's because that is like such a small amount of money. Really, for the collector car market, we're seeing GTV 6s and not that great of condition sell for 15 grand.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like nowhere else to go but up. So maybe that means like the $20,000 ones are going to be like 28 in 2 years. And they're like, oh, that's a huge appreciation,
Yeah. You go from 20 to 30 and that's a huge, that's a good point. When you're talking about smaller numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. You also have to think most of these have really low miles. And people kept them in pretty good shape, and they thought they were going to be collector's items. And, they're those cars. Like, I doubt you see many of these with over 70,000 miles,
Yeah, the fella in my building, I think his has 30,000, and his is like a bright orange. It's actually probably one of the better looking one of these. If I were going to, I hate the car, but it's like, okay, if you're going to do this car, it should be in some crazy color. Who was the talk show host guy that had Montel Williams? Remember Montel Williams? He was famous for having a purple one when these things came out. God damn, this era of Dodge was just the biggest pieces of junk. All right. What's the Nerd Herd say? Looks like everyone's kind of in agreement. Everyone's
we're at 18.5. We did Buddha said 15,000 rubles. But yeah.
So $42.
Anybody that's saying over 20, also says that it's going to fail to sell.
Anthony's coming in at 26.5. Wow. Randy is at 25.5. Are these strong up there in Idaho? Lane, we have a huge fan base in Idaho. A bunch of our fans are in Idaho, apparently. Chris Carbine, cool. He's a professional in Louisiana. He says 23,750. Kevin says 20K no sale. Yeah, you're right. Everybody's FTS. Kevin's asking which engine this has. I think it has a 3.5. That's the only engine. I don't think there's a
correct.
Engine
yeah,
option.
there wasn't a second gen version of this one. Here's a great picture. Right with you. It's the infamous 24 valve 3.5 liter V6 that went on to power the least famous of the Fast and Furious Mitsubishis, and along with a bunch of other disappointing machines.
This car is disappointment. Like, it's an embodiment of disappointment. It's just like, it's a disappointmente is what they should have called it. It's pretty sad. All right, what do you guys think this car will get to? What's that?
At least the SSR, had a V8, like the Chevy SSR, and another throwback car. But this one, I think from the start, I felt like I remember reading all the articles back in the day and stuff, and it was like just a big disappointment just because it lacked that engine. It was trying to be a hot rod, but it wasn't. So
it's got that long nose. It just looked like, it looked like the Dodge Viper with that long nose. This thing looked like it should have a big long V8 in there, or at least a big straight six or something like that. Some, 4-liter or something like that, like a Jag engine or something. But yeah. Hey guys, I gotta tell you about our friends Godden Porsche of Las Vegas and Godden Classic. If you're looking for a new Porsche or a classic, you gotta call our friend Steve at Godden. Save yourself the hassle of screwing around with all the auctions like we always talk about, and just talk to Steve. He'll find you the classic Porsche you're looking for. Godden Porsche of Las Vegas. Hey guys, you're probably looking at your watch and wondering if Bid Nerds will ever end. So you better talk to our friends at Our Smiths to make sure your Rolex, Tag Heuer, AP, or any fine timepiece is in tip-top shape. Our Smiths, fine Swiss repair. This one's embarrassing, straight up. There's a reason, though. We call this we say the most interesting car. This is one of Hagerty's top picks of the year for appreciation. I think it was one of their top 10. This is a 2001 Plymouth Prowler with just 16,000 miles. Sold by a dealer out of Santa Rosa, California. This car comes in some kind of fancy silver. They had a fancy name for the silver, but come on, it's just
Boomer
Dodge
Silver.
Boomer Silver. I think that's a good call. I'm not even going to, who cares what the engine is? They only came in automatics. I think it's a 6-cylinder of some sort. This is basically a PT Cruiser with an open top and open front fenders. Ian, what do you think of the 2001 Plymouth Prowler?
I'm having trouble hearing you over the ZZ Top that's just coming through the headphones.
I did think you were a sharp-dressed man when you came.
Yes. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think. It comes with a ZZ Top Greatest Hits CD in the stereo. Right?
I would buy it for that. That's actually would be the most valuable. That's the most compelling reason I've ever heard in favor of one of these cars. O'Neill, what do you think of the Plymouth Prowler?
I was going to say it comes with a gray goatee. But you just automatically get a gray goatee if you buy it.
And some sort of generic knockoff Punisher sticker with whatever, your political view is.
Oh, we lost O'Neill's audio here.
Goodness.
O'Neill, we lost your audio there, buddy.
Turn the microphone on and off again.
Stand by, everybody. Audio issues with Michael. Hey, he's back. There he is. Oh, wait, we can hear Mike. We've got some big old feedback, buddy.
I think your microphone is there. It is. Yeah, you're going through the computer. Perfect.
There we go. Sorry.
No worries.
I was going to say, you automatically, as soon as you get in, you look like Paul Tuttle Sr., like automatically.
Yeah, does this come with like a season's pass to Golden Corral? Do you get unlimited shots at the chocolate bar, the chocolate fountain thing?
Yeah, a trunk full of New Balance.
I'm going to say $32,000.
He's just going right for the bid. He's like, he wants to get past. He's like, screw this. We're done talking about it. Let's move on.
Am I not supposed to?
You're out of line, buddy. I said $19,995, and I thought it would fail to sell. PCAR Market, by the way, is where this car was listed, and I don't know how you feel about that platform, but a Plymouth Prowler on PCAR Market seems like like a bad idea. Lane said 17.5. He also thought that this thing would fail to sell. Mental was at $19,000. And so O'Neill, you said what? 30 something? What was it?
32. It was
32 grand. Okay. Ian, what do you think?
Man, that's really tough. I think maybe 19,999.
19,999. Okay, so you're
because that's how they partied when they bought it.
I guess so. Yeah, that was the year, certainly. And let me ask you guys this follow-up question too. Do you guys think it failed to sell, or do you think it actually sold at those numbers?
I am sure that every Prowler owner is sure that it's worth more than it is.
Right?
So
O'Neill, what do you think? Do you think your number is a sell number, or do you think it goes into the Chum Bucket, the deal tank?
Well, I was just going to say, I was not too far from the ballpark with my guess.
Well, the actual price, let's see here, was $20,000. So I missed a Yahtzee by $5. But the car did go into the deal tank for $29,500. So the owner is expecting to get $29,500 for this thing, which I think is remarkably realistic given kind of your take on the type of owner, right, Ian?
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I just want to point out, I was $1 off.
That was pretty close, but I was actually, you were $1 off. You were closer. God damn it. This guy comes in here, he dresses sharply and steals my bid. All right, so enough about a stupid Prowler. I mean, what do you guys think of the results on that? Prowler, do you think the owner should have taken the money and run? Should he have taken that 20 grand and bought all the ZZ Top? Or is he smart to just kind of wait till spring when drop top season comes back and people are more into wearing their pleated shorts and white socks? This car is the car for that person. Let us know in the comments below. Hey guys, thanks for watching this clip of the Bid Nerds podcast. Play along with us live every Sunday and Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. on YouTube. And see if your bids stack up to the rest of the nerd herd in the chat live. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Nerd! Get those words!